The flying tank, the Ilyushin-IL2. Is it a plane, or is it a tank? No, it's a flying tank. The Battle of Kursk started with German Panzer tanks annihilating the Russian defenses. The 1941 German offensive Operation Barbarossa had seen German Panzer tanks making a mark against the ill-prepared USSR defense. The USSR found it hard to prevent the German Blitzkrieg led by panzer divisions and supported by the Luftwaffe, German Air Force. The Russians, after months of research, came up with a fitting reply not from the ground but by air. The response was the Ilyushin-IL2, an armored aircraft, or commonly called a flying tank. The Ilyushin-IL2 is the most produced aircraft in aviation history. Strategy to drop tanks. The Soviet Air Force considered the plan to drop tanks on the battlefield from the air for a long time. Strangely, the Red Army tried to attach glider to tanks. Bomber aircraft took the glider to a higher altitude and dropped them. The problem with the system is that the tank's crew deployment happens separately, and there is a delay for the tank to get ready for combat. The team needed to dismantle the glider wings and get ready for action. The Soviets developed the Antonov A-40, a plane where a tank with the crew is attached to the belly of the aircraft, and it is detachable with a simple mechanical system. The tank's wooden glider wings ensured a safe landing. The birth of the Ilyushin-IL2. The arduous task to fly a tank was still tricky, and the Soviet Air Force came up with an armored plane and fitted it with massive arsenals to take on the Panzers. The Ilyushin IL-2 could carry 2 cannons, 3 machine guns, 2 rocket launchers, and 6 100-kilogram bombs. After considering various designs for production, IL-2 was selected, and prototypes were successful. The IL-2 was so critical to Russia's war effort that Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin called it as necessary as the bread we eat, and the air we breathe. Stalin gave the last warning to the USSR aircraft plants, shifted to the Ural region after Operation Barbarossa, to speed up IL-2 productions as soon as possible. You have let down our country and our Red Army. You have the nerve not to manufacture IL-2s until now. Our Red Army now needs IL-2 aircraft like the air it breathes, like the bread it eats. Schenkman produces 1 IL-2 day and Tretyakov builds 1 or 2 MiG-3s daily. It is a mockery of our country and the Red Army. I ask you not to try the government's patience, and demand that you manufacture more eels. This is my final warning. Joseph Stalin. The IL-2's first uses on the battlefield didn't go well. The IL-2 had an inherent fault of inaccuracy while firing at a target. The IL-2 pilots, after many hours of flight, found a solution to the problem. An IL-2 needs to take the target from the left by taking a steep dive and aiming its guns on the target. Soviet history claims that on the 7th of July 1943, IL-2s destroyed 70 Panzer tanks in 20 minutes. Drawbacks and after the war. The IL-2s formed a circle of death where one IL-2 takes on the target, which the other IL-2s provide cover. An IL-2 carried a rear gunner to counter German fighter aircraft. The major drawback of IL-2 was that it was no match to German fighter on a head-on dogfight. Losses of IL-2s were mounting, but their effectiveness against Panzer and Tiger tanks boosted IL-2's production. The IL-2 earned the nickname Flying Tank for its armor and efficiency against armored ground units. The IL-2 was the most produced aircraft in history, with 32,000 in service at one point. After World War II, IL-2's variants saw action in Bulgaria, Hungary, Mongolia, and Poland.